Welcome to Mudville, podcast about baseball and cinema. I'm Brody Staub.
I'm Nolan Rabine.
We hope you enjoy.
It's Mudville, June 22nd. Brody's been out of town on an expedition to find the Titanic. I haven't heard from him in a couple days, but I'm sure he's fine.
We had a close call.
Oh, shit, he's back.
I have returned.
There he is.
I have returned. Yeah, so I was actually on another submarine, but we made it back. Yeah.
Thank God. I heard about the other one.
You thought I was on that one?
Yeah.
I was on another one, actually.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
They sent two.
I was on the rescue sub.
One with a British billionaire and one with a Brooklyn podcaster, and they wanted to see which one came back.
Amazing.
This is great results for the proletariat, to be honest.
You love to see it as a poor person.
Yeah.
This is what you want.
God, what a saga that was.
Did you see that the Navy knew that they had died like a week ago?
It was a week ago?
It was like a week ago.
Oh, no. And the Navy just didn't report it?
They said like 5 days ago the sub imploded. Like they heard something. There's like an acoustic signal that was like in line with an implosion.
So this isn't particularly recent. Like they were they were cooked a while ago. Oh, man.
Biden knew.
He didn't do anything about it. It's a good question. What is Joe Biden doing to save Titanic-bound submarines?
He was swimming
that weren't launched from America.
he was getting his scuba gear out of the closet.
What is Joe Biden doing to prevent that?
Hey, Jack, I'm gonna get down there. I'm gonna go figure out what's going on.
We should
save those divers.
Honestly, if we sent Joe Biden to go find the Titanic, that would kill like 8 birds with one stone.
I would actually, first of all, I would watch the movie afterwards.
I don't know. Maybe President Kamala would nationalize Major League Baseball. My favorite part of the whole submarine saga was like that nut, like
the submarines.
2 hours after the news broke, like the guy's stepson like put out a statement like, I think my family would want me to be at the Blink 182
concert. Like, this is what we do. People go disappearing, and then usually we go to a pop punk concert, sometimes folk.
You gotta stay together for the kids.
That's for
does that
for
fit?
The kids.
Does that work?
Kinda.
Yeah, not really.
This is a new era on the Mudville podcast. We're aiming for no more feedback.
The no feedback era.
Yeah, that's what we're going for.
Dude, speaking of...
Let us know how we do.
Billionaires just doing whatever. See Zuckerberg's going to fight Elon,
dude,
maybe?
That is my favorite thing.
Well, I don't know.
Look, I hate both of them. I just want to see...
I mean, that doesn't need to be clarified.
Yeah, fair enough. I just want to see...
It's like saying you hate both, like, ISIS and throat cancer.
I do. That's true. Actually, throat cancer has made some. I think it killed some shithead. Oh, Rush Limbaugh.
Oh yeah. Okay, score one for throat cancer.
Throat cancer 1. Rush Limbaugh.
That's more points than I would give ISIS.
That is more points. On no circumstance.
It's also more points than I would give Elon Musk.
Yeah, it is more points I'd give Elon Musk. Dude, I'm surprised he didn't call like the British billionaire on the submarine a pedophile.
Yeah,
he typically does that when submarines enter the news.
I know. Instead, he's focused on fighting Mark Zuckerberg in a cage match.
He has changed.
The sort of thing that's like supposed to be super funny, like you hear about that and you think that's going to be hilarious, but if it actually happens, it's like not going to be funny at all because it's just going to be turned into a series of like escalating memes.
The reason that I kind of am rooting for it, these are two men who are extreme egotists. So to see them like prance around a ring half naked and just like hopefully maybe get punched in the face, I would like that.
You say half naked as it's like an appeal, but to me that would I would want them both to be wearing t-shirts.
I don't. Or have you ever seen Elon Musk without a shirt on? He's hideous.
Yeah, I don't need to see it again.
No, that's why. Expose it. Put it out there.
I disagree.
Make everybody gaze upon. hell that we hath wrought upon ourselves by making this man our weird fucking like Twitter god.
He might be a plant to just get rid of the entire concept of like meritocracy. If they actually do it, it's going to be advertised to hell. First of all, it's not going to be a cage match at all because neither of those two are going to like take a hit.
I just want to see Elon Musk get punched in the face almost as much as I want to see Mark Zuckerberg punched in the face. So this could knock two birds out with one stone.
Cage, yeah, but like I don't know. Cage match implies to me that like somebody's at least going to get like a lip bloodied or something, and I don't think that would even happen in the fight. I think they would just like take a couple like
probably
shots in like each other's like pectoral.
I want to see both of them fight Mike Tyson separately. Can we do that?
Yeah, we could just see them both get like actually knocked out.
That'd be great.
You know what they should do is like set it up with them so that they think it's just going to be like a PR thing where they both get a bunch of good publicity after like 10 years of Zuckerberg getting trashed and like 3 years of Musk getting trashed.
And then we release a lion into the cage.
Yeah, exact. No, yeah. Oh,
like the Coliseum.
I was going to say we unleash like Khabib or whoever the best UFC fighter is. I don't know if it's still him, but
Nurmagomedov or something. Yeah,
a lion's a better idea though.
I like the idea of a lion. Yeah, especially because Zuckerberg has a weird thing with like gladiator, or well, not gladiators, but like Romans. Like that's why he has that haircut. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. But
he wanted the Caesar cut.
I think it's fair to say that. I think it's fair to say that both of those men have had enough money for a long enough time that they should be able to fight. That they should have developed technology that they should be able to fight a lion just impromptu, like whenever, just in case it like happens.
Right.
So at that point, like if they die to the lion, skill issue.
Yeah. Dude, lion diff.
Yeah.
I would pay a not insignificant amount of money to watch Elon Musk get ripped apart by a lion.
Dude. You wanted to talk about Roman emperors, right?
Oh, yeah, I did. Well, the reason was because of Zuckerberg, because he has that haircut. So he had like a weird obsession thing with the way that they would like control shit. And that's like why he did, like partially why he had like Facebook be the way it was with like all the spying and shit. He wanted to like guide us as humanity. Apparently, this is all hearsay. Allegedly, I don't want to get sued by this Zucker.
I don't think we're at risk of that.
You never know. He's out there. He's listening. He knows what we're talking about. He's just a fucking weirdo. He also looks like Nero, who is also a Roman emperor. So that's the thing I was going to say. I feel like as a society, we don't talk enough about Roman emperors.
I agree with that.
Because they were all really fucking strange, like man babies who were in charge of the most important place on the planet at the time. They're just like fun. Do you know anything about Nero?
I mean, yeah, sure, but like, tell me what you know about Nero.
I'm pretty sure
he
like
history.
fucked horses.
No way.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I think he did.
Did he really?
Yeah, I think he did.
What a freak.
Yeah. Also, this is what he looked like, which is this
not great ready. Content for the podcast.
We should make it the thumbnail.
We'll put this in the image.
I don't know if you're ready for this.
Just show it to me. Oh God,
that man ran Rome.
He looks like he would be like a mop up like sixth inning guy with a 7.84 ERA.
Do you see the underbeard?
He looks like he throws a very hittable splitter.
Just like a slider that doesn't slide.
Yeah.
Anyway, this picture, if you want to look it up, Nero, Nero, is the one. It's the colored version where it's like trying to make it look like a real person, and he's just a hideous freak. So that's fun.
I think we need a like late period Rome era in Major League Baseball in terms of like commissioners, where we just can't keep one in charge.
That'd be really
and they
funny.
Just keep going through every like 3 months even.
The owners,
where it's like we put in one and they're like, no, get out. Yeah, they like can't find. Like they keep installing some new guy who like reveals himself to be a buffoon.
Well, they did that, but they won't get rid of the one that we have now.
Yeah, because he's a puppet.
Yeah. Did you see what he said today?
Yeah, let's. We should get into that, shouldn't we? I mean, it's.
Oh my God, this thing it won't go away.
Oh, what he said today?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I was going to talk about the whole like saga of the past week.
Can we go back to the A's thing?
Stepped in it so many times this week.
He made it worse.
It was a terrible week in baseball, at least in the news. That's already been honestly sufficiently lambasted by the media. You know, this was
lambasted? I thought it was lambasted.
I think it's lambasted. I don't know. Our last episode was like 10 days ago at this point, and then this happened like 9 or 8 days ago. So it's been a little while. It's been talked about quite a bit, and I'm not going to try to add anything that's just received wisdom at this point, because the FanGraphs writer Michael Bauman published an incredible piece that was called "I Was Supposed to Write About Ellie De La Cruz Today," and instead he wrote about.
That's a great title, because you know how he got it too. He was sitting there and he was thinking, Jesus fucking Christ, I had to talk about Rob Manfred. I was supposed to write about Ellie De La Cruz.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, no, it says all that it is. And instead he had to talk about Rob's trifecta of terrible PR. Yeah, which was first of all to blame the city of Oakland for losing their team, saying, well, we have to ask ourselves, what was the city of Oakland prepared to do? There was no Oakland offer, yada, yada, yada. Instantly,
Oakland was like, yes, there was.
They said, this is just straight up false.
Yeah. Shocker. Manfred's lying.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then in response to the reverse protests that we talked about last week with Tony. By the way, Tony wanted to issue a correction that I'm going to just mention while I thought of it.
Sure.
It's
a good time to do it.
Yeah, he accidentally referred to documentarian Errol Flynn on last week's podcast as Errol Fleming. Personally, I forgive him.
I think we can let it slide, although
whether or not
it's up to the people.
Listeners, we're just gonna
court of public opinion on that.
Yeah, democracy. And actually, you know what? In honor of Roman emperors, I think we have to make this decision. And I'm going to say thumbs up. Tony gets to live.
We can let him go.
Response to the reverse protest, Manfred said it was nice to see an almost average crowd in Oakland.
Did you see the video, or did you only read the quote?
I only read the quote.
Okay, the video is like it makes it a little bit better, because the way that he was saying it was almost average. Like he was saying it like, yeah, they were getting there, but like when it was just written, because I read it first, then saw the video after, and I was like, he's a
my theory is that he's a performance artist and he's doing an extended bit to just make everybody hate him as much as possible, and then at a certain point we're gonna let everybody very publicly kill him, and then Major League Baseball thinks that's going to settle
a lot
the
of
problems.
Public figures.
We're just going to put but they're just going to put all of their problems on this one guy, and then you just like blast him into the river, and you're going to say, okay, day one, we're back to square one.
Oh my god,
with Major League Baseball.
Well, so today we got to revisit. This is a twofer.
Actually, I'm not done. He did more.
Go ahead.
He did even more. He shied away from a decent response to the Pride uniforms.
Stay away from.
And he said that Major League Baseball doesn't wish to make teams force their players to wear Pride logos or uniforms or whatever on Pride Night, because they don't want to they want to keep their players safe, he said, and they don't want to
how about your fans?
How
about your gay players who are probably in baseball and afraid to tell anyone?
Yeah, we've never had a gay player in Major League Baseball.
They exist,
but there are a whole lot of assholes.
Guarantee you they're in there somewhere. Someone's gay.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even talk about all that stuff anymore. It's been... The Dodgers had their Pride Night, and it got protested by Proud Boys, who they put in the parking lot a mile away. The Texas Rangers aren't hosting one, but the other teams are.
What? The Texas Rangers?
Yeah.
They don't want to be gay for a night? What the fuck, man? All those Texas teams seem like they're just complete fucking gross humans.
Yeah.
I feel like Jerry Jones smells like meat.
2 days after all that, The Athletic laid off 20 writers.
Yeah, that was bad.
MLB considered staffing limits for research and data analytics.
That's what Daniel does.
Just a week of terrible PR.
I wonder if he's all right. But yeah, that's...
it really made me sad just to follow this organization that is in control of the thing that we love.
Yeah, not what you want.
Seems to hate that same thing.
Speaking of which, Elon Musk.
And the people who love it.
Yeah. No, it really is a shame.
They only seem to care about protecting the worst of their fans
and the worst of their
players.
Yeah. And the worst of their owners. Hello, John Fisher.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's
You know, like I said, I don't want to repeat any received wisdom because I've been like listening to podcasts about this all week, and I don't want to like keep anything in my head. But it's just so clearly not somebody who is fit for this moment on any level. MLB has shown nothing but cowardice all year when faced with even a little bit of adversity. There are now a bunch of Republican senators who want to revoke the antitrust legislation primarily because teams are hosting pride nights. Right. But even a broken clock is right twice a day. They shouldn't have that shit. Like, if you're going to pull a team out of Oakland and give them the middle finger on the way out, I mean, that's just clearly not a group of people who can be trusted to provide baseball and to provide, I mean, not only entertainment, but to have this relationship with a city that we're now seeing can just be broken by like the
strip it away
heir to some department store who wants to increase his money by like a little bit.
Awful. It really is. It's just
there's an inherent relationship between a team, its city, and its fans, and it's absurd that these owners are able to break that trust in service of their own pockets.
Yeah, they just
and it's even worse
take
that
it for granted.
The commissioner of the sport is actively supporting the process at every turn. Like, it's part of his job at this point to secure public funding for John Fisher specifically. To move when they could have just expanded, and he could have. The owners could do this at any point. Nevada state legislator could do this at any point.
They could just stop.
The only people who have made noise are the fans, but of course the fans are the only people without any power in this, because baseball is owned by a cabal of assholes.
There's your title. He brought up, or in an interview, I don't know if it was today, but it was definitely, there was an article about it today in ESPN, which, by the way, no byline in the article. It just says ESPN. So thanks for that, ESPN.
Oh,
Continue
nice.
Not crediting your writers. He regrets the way he handled the Astros sign stealing scandal, which, like, yeah, dude, too little, too late. Like he said, admitting then in a recent interview that granting immunity to the players was, quote, maybe not my best decision ever. Like, he said, I'm not sure that I would have approached it with giving players immunity. Once we gave players immunity, it puts you in a box as to what exactly you were going to do in terms of punishment. I might have gone about the investigative process without that grant of immunity and see where it takes us. Starting with, I'm not going to punish anybody. Maybe not my best decision ever. He also said that he regrets calling the World Series trophy a piece of metal, which is just funny.
I take it back. He's not a performance artist. He's just an NPC.
Dude, he's like an AI.
So sad, man. Speaking of
is this
NPCs not crediting writers and assholes who shouldn't be in charge, did you see the whole TCM saga this week?
No.
David Zaslav, the new Warner Brothers CEO, who has been just making a series of anti-art decisions that at the helm of this massive corporation that owns many of the institutions responsible for keeping film and classic film in the public conscience. And he announced this week that he was releasing some of the top heads of TCM, which made many people think that he was planning to cut the service altogether, which naturally inspired a massive backlash. Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, and Paul Thomas Anderson all got on a call together.
Is not like the other.
Which one are you talking about?
Spielberg.
Oh, okay. They all have very
I like Spielberg
specific
movies. Don't get me wrong.
careers.
It's just that he's
if there is an Illuminati, Steven Spielberg sold his soul to it a long time ago.
That makes sense.
Basically, as opposed to the other two. Who,
Jaws is good though. He's got a guy named Brody.
Oh, he's a great director, but
Jurassic Park.
He definitely sees himself as like
Jones,
the
good stuff.
Official director of Joe Smith, who eats at McDonald's every day, and who dreams about fairies and sharks at night.
Yeah. You think this new Indiana Jones is going to be bad?
Oh, of course.
I'm kind of. That's like the reason I want to see it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, these three directors had to all get on a call with David Zaslav, who, by the way, this guy's relationship with the public is so bad that he got booed at a commencement speech.
Who's he? Rob Manfred.
Exactly. And of course this happened right after his Warner Brothers Flash movie bombed, which I have no intention of seeing.
I saw a trailer for that recently. I was like, the first shot was Ezra Miller's face, and I was like, we're still doing this guy? I thought we like...
That's been like the whole thing, because...
Didn't we all move on from them? Like,
they paid $300 million at least to make that movie, and then their star went on a crime spree and kidnapped a child.
He went on a crime spree. I'm sorry, it's not funny, but
it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. It's all right. It's kind of funny.
Is they, right? I think.
Yeah, it's they.
But all right, so they had it made, right? All you have to do is like shut up and be the Flash.
Oh yeah.
Just could not do it.
Even if the movie's bad, which it very much is, like you could just take it to the bank, and they couldn't even do that. So they were like marketing the movie around nostalgia for Michael Keaton's Batman.
Yeah, the beloved Michael Keaton Batman.
Which it is, but like not 35
now.
Years later. Yeah, I mean it's
2023.
It's not in the zeitgeist anymore.
It's like, know him, you love him. It's Michael Keaton as Batman.
And it's like,
can we have Michael Keaton do something else, please?
If a multiverse movie fails,
we
at
all
this
like
point,
Michael Keaton still.
You have no talent, because
it's true.
The reigning Best Picture winner is a multiverse like Joss Whedon-esque cringe movie. The biggest movie in the world is a different Spider-Man multiverse cartoon right now.
Okay, but that movie probably is pretty good because the first one was great.
But the fact that...
But yes, you're right. You're right. The concept, it seems to do well.
You can't say that it bombed for any reason other than it fucking sucks. Like, you intentionally made a play at what people clearly like and what there's clearly a market for right now. I don't know, just both of these stories this week just made me so upset that these are the people who are in power of the things that we love, and that our best living directors have to team up to save Turner Classic Movies, which really should be
make
public utility.
They love a good team up.
But it's just so frustrating. Like, why are any of these people in power?
Because they know how to make money.
Why
for
does
the people
the
who
heir
have all the money?
to some stupid company have the right to strip baseball away from the city of Oakland?
Yeah.
Why is he being abetted by somebody who is apparently supposed to commission the sport, but instead just acts as a front man for the owners?
Yep. Well, that's why he's there. Like, that is what the job of the commissioner... Remember, like, when Goodell was always, like, putting his foot in his mouth and shit?
At this point, they've just ripped the mask off so far that they can't even pretend that he is anything but a mouthpiece anymore. True. And it's just so frustrating that these are the people who have the money and who get to invest the money. I mean, I'm kind of straining metaphors at this point, but it's just... so frustrating that so many artists struggle to get their work produced and to get their names out into the world. Meanwhile, these people can just throw $300 million out there to make like a bunch of sludge to prove how many properties they own. And I fucking hate it, man.
The way the world works. I'm also not done being mad at Manfred.
Keep going.
Like, this is the same man who single-handedly decided that he was going to fix baseball. Like, it's just that this is mostly coming from the fact that I still hate the extra innings thing. Like, I know some players like it. Like, that's been a talking point about it for a while now, is like, well, they want to go home.
We're going to go back to the zombie runner.
Huh?
We're going to loop this back to the zombie runner.
What? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
I've never heard you say that. You call it a zombie runner?
Yeah, I guess I kind of like recently adopted that. But
I don't hate it because like it kind of makes sense.
It isn't a ghost runner thing. It's a zombie.
Not a ghost runner. I like the Manfred Man. Which,
that's good.
That's my favorite.
I like the Manfred Man.
I've always called it the Manfred Man since I heard it in like 2020. But either way, I like. Yes, I'm gonna bring it back to that because it seems like rule changes in general this year people can wrap their head around, but that one is consistently like. I don't know. People are okay with the rule changes this year because they actually do make the game better. Everyone agrees on that. Like it's we were sick of the shifts. That's fine. The pitch clock is now barely noticeable. That's fine. And the bigger base, who gives a shit? But like the fully fucking with the integrity of the game with adding just a guy. I don't know. I don't want to be an old man griping about the rules or whatever. It just. The reason that I hate it so much is because I feel like it's like emblematic of Rob Manfred like hating baseball. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he barely likes the damn sport. Like, people love it, like a very deep connected level where it's just like it's not just a game, whatever, the whole thing. You do the whole spiel, but it's just like, don't fuck with it. Whatever, it's been around.
In
for
short,
oh, there you go.
Score us a run. You're the Manfred man.
Yeah.
Steal us
Actually,
a base
that's pretty
tonight,
good.
because we're all in the mood to get out of here, and it's like 10:30 at night.
Well done.
Thank you.
Man, if this was England, you'd sing that every single time we started extra innings. Score us a run, you're the Manfred man.
I did a spoken word thing to avoid singing.
I did not. I just took it. The one thing that I've been like meaning to kind of put my thoughts out there as, it's like, all the fans are pissed all the time about everything with the Yankees, which is fine. We've been sold this whole championship thing. Look, I listen to Michael Kay show, as I said, and he fields calls all day about people being pissed that the Yankees haven't won in 14 years, and Cashman's got to go, and Boone has to get fired, and
all of
this
our,
is a mess, and just
all of our favorite first world problems.
Yeah, exactly. And they like sometimes they'll on the show they'll be like I get it, but like it's been poor me, been 14 years. The Mets haven't won since '86. It's like, okay, here's the difference. The Yankees have been so fucking agonizingly close for almost a decade. Well, the Mets don't do anything. I think it is more painful to be close like this than it is to just be bad. I'm a Giants fan and a Knicks fan. I can handle disappointment. It happens all the time. But like true agonizing defeat year after year is hard to take, especially when there's nothing changing. So it's, it is what it is at this point, because nothing is going to change. But
I do think so often about just our role as Yankee fans, especially ones who were born in 1998, like in the midst of the past decade or so of Major League Baseball.
Didn't
because
get a lot of good times.
There are at least 20 fan bases around the league who can very rightfully tell us to cry them a river.
It's true. Namely the Oakland A's. There are plenty where like shit is worse than what we have going on. I get it. Like as a Yankee fan, it's like, you spoiled. You guys made the playoffs. Me.
And they're right.
They are right. It's fine. But like,
and also it's been agony for us.
Imagine if you like won the lottery and then immediately got robbed, and then we're like upset about it, and then someone who's been broke their whole life is like, oh, bitch about it. It's like, I just lost so much money. It's like, we have been so close so many times, and they just can't do it. It's like, again, I get it. It's, but like, you don't feel like that gut punch when your team is like 65 and I don't want to do that math. 62 and 100. Like, it's, it's 97.
Yeah, I mean,
but like, it's
when you have a season like that, it's just usually clear from the start, and if not, it's clear from like May.
Meanwhile,
and it's a very long season, so
we
you
go
just have
through
to
the
get
roller
used to watching
coaster.
your team lose every night.
Yeah,
and I've never had a season like that. Like we've never had to experience that, which is why
I'm a Giants fan. I'm used to.
Oh but that's a different sport.
You're not doing shit. No, but like I'm saying that the feeling of like knowing like, okay, you're a Royals fan. You guys
sure, but having it be like a nightly thing, like every day, just going into a game knowing even if we win this game, which we probably won't, it doesn't really matter.
Right. As a diehard fan,
there are so many teams
brutal
that are just sort of in that perpetual existence. Yeah. And
which I actually respect Hal Steinbrenner for, because he went on the other day in an interview where he said, my dream is for every single fan base on opening day or the beginning of spring training to think there's a chance
Me too.
that we could make the playoffs. I'm like, that is ideal.
Yeah,
that's
salary
how it should
floor.
be.
But what are you going to do to make that happen? You're just going to say that and then vote.
No, Hal wants a cap. He wants a salary cap and a floor.
Yeah,
so he wants like an actual thing. I don't hate Hal Steinbrenner.
He's not the worst.
He's not the worst. He's not the best. He's not the worst. I don't particularly like him. I just don't hate him.
There aren't very many.
He seems aware more so than some others. I think he's just a bit of a coward. But
on the scale of big league owners, which is really what you have to put him on. He's not that bad, I guess.
No.
Like
There are worse.
It could be
there
worse.
are much, much worse. So,
and that has been proven time and time again by Oakland last year, by Cincinnati, who, by the way, were on a 10-game win streak.
They have a weird
their
history
ownership.
of terrible owners. Did you know that?
I didn't.
They have a owner, or they had an owner in I think the 80s or the 90s who like openly walked around calling black players the N-word or something.
Oh my God!
Like, yeah, they have a really weird,
that
bad
type
history.
of bad owner.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my.
No, like terrible.
Oof.
But apparently they like won a lot. So like people kind of liked her. It's like it's a mess. It's there's also a woman.
We have Johnny Bench,
And I think she was like the first woman, like majority owner.
It was
like,
a racist woman?
Yeah, it's like
Oh
very
my God.
complicated. Well, it's not complicated. She was like an old racist lady,
women
but
can be
like,
racist
you know,
too.
yeah,
We're
it's,
feminists here on the Mudville podcast. We think
can
women can be racist
too. Welcome to the 2023 discourse hour. My God, yeah. Whatever. It's I don't know. The state of ownership in baseball is such a wide array. I don't even know who the owner of the Padres is, but he's like an old man who's like about to die and he wants to win a World Series, so he's like pumping his team with all of his money. Or you have John Fisher, or it's just, or you have like the Dodgers ownership group who just is like, we're just gonna make like a good organization, top to bottom. It's
the
like,
owner of the Padres has sort of single-handedly proven that all of the like small market whining is nonsense,
bullshit,
which
yeah.
I love. That's great. You can see that a team that has that's like 26th in payroll can shell out like 6 huge contracts.
Sure. Every team should be able to do it. Yeah.
It's like 5-year deal for 39-year-old Yu Darvish.
Yeah.
Like
the Rays
whatever,
probably
man.
couldn't have a $200 million payroll, but they could probably crack like 130
easily.
Like,
Oh my God! I mean, any
know.
team, any MLB owner can pay these players.
Yeah.
And if they can't, then there are probably hundreds of people out there who are willing to give them a generational wealth.
Yeah. To let them take control.
To buy control of that team
Yeah.
and then invest
thing.
money into that team by
Teams-
buying players that will then draw fans to the stadium, because
Teams
that
don't
works.
sell
We
for
see
a
it time and
loss.
time again.
It's like the only thing in the world that never like lessen or depreciates in value.
No.
Literally every team that's ever sold is sold for a profit. It's like it's an investment for a lot of people like who go into it. So it's just like you might have disaffected owners who are just in it to sit on it for a minute and then make a fuck ton of money on the other side. Look at Michael Jordan. He bought his stake in the Hornets for like, what was it, like 150 million or something? He's about to make $3 billion. Like it, ridiculous.
It's
Whatever.
the hypocrisy of it too, to say like, well, we can't compete with like some of these big league owners. Like, okay,
bullshit.
Sell the team
then if you don't want.
Aren't you such a like right wing capitalist in
You're
most
gonna go
cases?
make $2 or
like,
$3 billion if you sell.
Isn't this how the free market works? Like, didn't you get got in this case? Shouldn't you just sell, have your money forever, and just not have people be eternally mad at you?
They don't care about
like,
that.
doesn't that but like at a certain point, it's like, I think people should just start targeting John Fisher's other businesses, like whatever he owns.
What else is he in?
I don't
where
even.
else
I
is
think
he
some
making his
department
money?
store.
Yeah,
some
they
shit.
should fucking.
But I mean,
boycott.
it's all of these people. Like half the teams in the league at this point are owned by like the heir to Lowe's, and they only see it as a venture for making
Gap?
money.
Is that how he made his money?
Maybe, yeah. That
feels
could be
right.
it. That seems. I don't know.
Whatever.
Elite research by the Mudville.
Yeah, we didn't look into it. I think that's enough ranting about rich people for this episode. But it's
Yeah, do you want to talk about some things that
frustrating.
happened around the league?
Yeah, sure. How about we talk about someone who's about to be extremely rich?
Oh, Paul Skeens?
No, I meant Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, you want to talk more about Ohtani?
Yeah,
what more is there to say? He's God.
But the last week especially,
Yeah,
he's been insane.
Go into it. Talk about it.
So last night, we attended the New York Yankees baseball game against the Seattle Mariners.
They won.
And the Yankees won a very odd game. And Castillo got outdueled by Johnny Brito. What? Anyway, they put up a stat. Tim Allen, thank you. They put up a stat on the board
Scooby-Doo.
that said that works too. Ohtani is currently leading the league in home runs and average against. It's just like the absurd levels of that are almost impossible to accurately like describe in human language.
Yeah,
Like,
we've never seen somebody who does two things at once, let alone
be the best
at
at
both of those things.
it's absurd.
You
It's
just-
so easy to say,
it's beyond words.
He pitches like Randy Johnson, he hits like Bonds.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Yeah, but no.
Like, what is that?
But imagine if somebody
LSU
actually
just
did
walked
that.
it off. Tommy White just hit a walk-off home run.
There you go.
Oh my God, they're going to
Wow.
the finals to play Florida. Dylan Cruz
Knocking
versus
off the
Wyatt
number one
Langford.
seed.
Oh wow, I'm so excited to watch
That
that.
guy's in college,
Yeah, he's
Dude,
he's not even draft
what?
eligible for another year or two.
man.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, Tommy White with a walk-off home run for all you
College
podcast
baseball is looking
listeners.
electric. Yeah.
College World Series, I've had so much fun watching this. Day one, those two games were both so crazy. They were both comebacks.
See, now
decided
Dylan
by one run in
Cruz-
the ninth inning.
Dylan Cruz looks like somebody who is like an adult baseball player. Paul Skeens kind of does, but like the guy who hit that, he just looks like a guy.
Tommy White, we're talking about. This
Tommy
is the
White.
third baseman who has dense
Man.
facial hair.
Yeah. Good for him.
Ironically, Cruz and Skeens could both be in the MLB right now.
Look at him.
And
at that guy.
Tommy White is, I think, a sophomore. Oh, what a nuke. What a moment for
He
him.
looks like a Red Sox.
I bet he gets drafted by the Red Sox.
He looks like one.
We could see it. Yeah, that's so... Oh, good for him, man.
See, here's a question for you. If you're in an analytic department, I feel like that's something that you should look into. I know that Brett Phillips had a huge moment in the World Series, so like anything is possible, I guess. But like, don't you want guys who have come through in giant moments?
You should work for the...
Shouldn't that be in your like analytic Bible
No.
somewhere? Like, I think it should. I
You
think it
should-
says something more about who you are.
You should work for the first A's regime in Moneyball
Vegas.
when they were talking about like guys with ugly girlfriends.
with guts.
Yeah.
But no, seriously. I mean, that's like one of those things
The
that you can't
clutch
really
gene.
measure unless it's actually, you've actually faced it.
You
I
want to
mean-
like add a column for the clutch factor.
Yeah, no, but just like how you perform in really high leverage situations. I feel like that is something that can be quantified. I feel like it should play a part and stuff.
I bet it does. To the extent that
The Yankees traded for
I just
Joey
don't
Gallo and
know
Frankie Montas.
yeah. The Yankees aren't the entire industry of baseball.
That's true.
They
They claim to be the best at it.
Speaking of the entire industry of baseball,
I'm not saying, by the way, that Tommy White is going to be like some like god of clutch baseball. I'm just saying like that. That's
No,
what
I
you think of it.
didn't. That's not how I took it. Speaking of the things that are happening around baseball, Michael Harris of the Braves heating up on an absolute tear. The Braves are a unit. They are going to easily win that division. The Mets still look like ass.
The Marlins are having a fun little year.
The Marlins are about 10 games over 500 right now. They're still playing a little bit over their heads. But Luis Arias could legitimately hit 400.
TCU got that far unranked.
Yuri
Rough.
Perez is an ace at 20 years old. They're probably going to have to shut him down for a little bit soon, but super exciting to have that arm in your system.
Why are they shutting him down?
Just innings workload.
Yeah,
Like
that's fair.
last
Okay.
year, I think he threw like 100 innings or so, and he's already I think they're gonna stop him at like 110 or 120, and then they're gonna bring him back for like the end of the year, I think.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
it's gonna make me really sad having to send him down on my fantasy teams.
Yeah, it's rough.
But he's been getting me through a tough stretch with all of these injuries.
Yeah. Framber Valdez has been looking like the stud that everyone knows he can be.
Yeah.
A couple really good starts. He, in the last week and a half, 15 innings, 9 K through 9 with a .6 walk through 9 over the last 3 starts.
It's been sort of a dogfight right now in the AL West. The Rangers are still like 4 or 5 games up, and then you have the Angels who have been playing very inspired baseball, and the Astros who have been slipping. The Angels are ahead of the Astros at the time of recording this podcast by about a game. Both of those
Are you
teams.
going to bury him? You want to dance
Oh
in the
God,
graves?
no! Oh God, no!
I want
That
to.
would be insane.
Can't do it.
No way.
That being said, they still. I mean, they've lost a lot of pitching. That team
They
is
certainly have.
legitimately going to be, They're going to actually be in the race to make a wild card spot, it looks like right now. So that's something that we haven't seen from them.
I do think I'm probably at the point where I am now predicting Texas to win the AL West.
Yep.
I think they've been playing such quality baseball for such an
Astros are
extended
back
period
above
of time.
the Angels, by the way.
Josh Young, who was my Rookie of the Year prediction, that could come true. Who knows?
Yeah.
Corey Seager is putting up MVP numbers. And if the Angels keep playing like this, it is very possible that the Astros are the odd man out. But also, even having this conversation could look very silly in a month.
They lost Garcia, McCullers, and Urquidy for the year. Well, likely Urquidy for the year. I think the other ones are definitely for the year.
Coming back at a certain point.
Urquidy should be coming back.
The other
but
two are both
McCullers and Garcia are gone for the year. Jordan is down with an oblique right now, which we've seen that with a lot of Yankees. That takes a long time to come back from. And then Brantley has been gone for long time.
He's out for the year.
I don't think he's coming back.
No,
so,
he's not. He's out for the year.
That's. I mean, he's older now, but still a good hitter. But yeah, I mean that's like they've just lost some significant pieces. Not to mention they also lost Justin Verlander in the offseason. So like their starting pitching is weakened, I will say. And again, weeks ago I said I don't want to dance in the grave yet. But I wanted to. But I don't want to dance in the grave yet. But truly, I mean the Rangers look really good, and the Astros are going to be fighting in what is probably going to be an insane, contentious last couple weeks to make that third or not necessarily third wild card spot, but one of those three wild cards.
They're still only like a game out of that third wild card spot. I think.
Yeah,
dancing on their grave.
They are definitely going to be vying amongst four other teams. Because let me think, it's going to be the Angels, the Yankees, probably the Orioles, probably the Blue Jays. And maybe
not the
Mariners. Not the Mariners. I was going to say that, but no. So yeah, four teams that are trying to be gunning for 2 playoff spots. So
it's going to be a dogfight. I'm excited for it.
It's going to be fun.
The Reds can't lose right now. I saw a stat the other day. They were 12-2 with Ellie De La Cruz in their lineup.
Yes, sir.
Matt McClain looking like the shortstop of the
We're going to end up playing the Astros in the wild card series, aren't we?
And they're going to lose, yeah, of course.
Oh, dear God.
Christian Encarnacion Strand still on the cusp of getting called up. Looks like they're going to put him in right field. Spencer Steer maybe left. It's getting pretty crowded in Cincinnati, and that's not something that I was expecting to say, at least this early in the year.
Cincy is so fun.
They're a very exciting team.
Cool.
I mean, I do like.
Didn't they rip off like 10 straight wins or something?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Like not to pour any water on them, but they do have a couple of guys playing above their X stats.
Yes, and their pitching is not, it still leaves a lot to be desired, but
so there should be a little bit of regression, but that's a very weak division, and there's no reason that Cincinnati can't win it.
Yeah, 4 of their top 5 prospects though are currently playing in the majors. You're right. What was that? 4 of their top 5 prospects are currently playing in the majors, which if you are going to try to go for a real run, I don't think that you can rely on that many kids, and that same thing goes for the Diamondbacks as well. Although the D-backs look great, but again, I just get wary when you have to rely on output from 20, 21, 22-year-olds who have not done this before. So, it's a similar thing to what I said to the Orioles, or about the Orioles a couple weeks ago, which is, they haven't experienced the full 162. And they haven't, experienced a playoff chase and all that entails mentally and physically. And, they're like, there's just a chance that they kind of burn out all these young teams, the Orioles, the Reds, the Diamondbacks. So, I'm rooting for them. Obviously, I love good young baseball. It's very fun. But yeah, I mean, usually it's just, that's why you have teams like the Yankees and the Astros, seasoned vets who have done this thing, a handful of times and gotten there. They just end up beating out teams or the Blue Jays even, teams that are just like young and inexperienced, who just kind of sputter out by the end of the year. So we'll see.
Speaking of young pitchers, Taj Bradley dominating over his last 2 starts. He's got a 16 K per 9, and I saw tweet went a little bit viral the other day that said he ranks among all major league pitchers with at least 40 innings pitched. He's first in FIP, first in expected FIP with 2.69 and 2.75 respectively. Second in strikeout rate with 34.5. Second in Sierra with a 2.95.
What is Sierra?
I wish you didn't ask me that because I don't know.
I looked it up one time, and I cannot remember what it is. I'm going to look it up real quick. We're all going to learn. We're going to learn something here on the Mudville podcast today. What is Sierra? Okay, Skill Interactive earned run average.
She's a very nice woman.
Thank you. Married to Russell Wilson, so that's a big knock. But anyway, Sierra. It quantifies a pitcher's performance by trying to eliminate factors the pitcher can't control by himself. But unlike a stat such as FIP, Sierra considers balls in play and adjusts for the type of ball in play. So, if a pitcher has a high FIP but also has induced a high proportion of grounders and pop-ups instead of line drives, Sierra will be lower than FIP. So it accounts for like launch angle, exit velo, stuff like that.
I'm sold.
Fun. I love that.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
I'm into it. And he leads in it. So Taj Bradley.
There you go.
Blooming ace.
A lot of grounders. Tells you the kind of contact he's giving up, essentially. That's fun.
Yeah. Yuri Perez and Taj Bradley. The future of pitching.
I like Sierra.
Me too.
I'm a big Sierra fan now. All right.
Yeah, we should go listen to her music.
Tell me more about Sierra's stuff. Let's find out.
Go check out her albums on Spotify.
Sure she's up to something.
Joe Ryan shut out the Red Sox today. In that last place AL East versus first place AL Central eternal struggle to try to see. The last time
Brutal.
we recorded was the first time in like 6 weeks that an AL Central team was ahead of an AL East team. That changed immediately. The Red Sox went right back ahead. And then those two teams went at it this week, including today, and Joe Ryan threw the first complete game for the Twins since 2018 when Jose Berrios did it.
Would you like to know who who is leading in Sierra this season, by the way?
Is it Joe Ryan?
It's Brian Abreu.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Of the Houston Astros. Would you like to know who's second?
Who?
Ryan Presley.
Oh, God. That's terrifying.
Would you like to know who's fourth?
No.
Framber Valdez.
Oh, my God.
Would you like to know who's sixth?
And you want to dance on their grave?
Would you like to know who's sixth?
Hunter Brown?
Yes.
Wow. I actually wrote down a stat that I wanted to bring up.
Would you like to know who's eighth?
Who?
Rafael Montero. Another one of the bullpen guys.
Wow. All right.
Would you like to know who's ninth?
No.
Hector Neris. Would you like to know who's 10th?
Oh.
Luis Garcia.
Okay, but he's out for the year.
I might just be
is that
looking
like
at the Astros. You can cut all that.
Oh, no, that's staying in.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. I can't say it. I said the Astros filtered.
It's like there's no way.
So
what?
That's so funny. The only names that I missed, by the way, the only reason I was skipping numbers is because it was names I didn't recognize. Oh, that's so funny. Guillermo Zuniga is actually the number one in Sierra this season. Of the, these are AAA numbers.
Oh, man.
What the fuck? All leagues. What is happening here? FanGraphs are letting me down. This is brutal.
Brody leads the league in FanGraph errors right now.
This is rough.
I haven't.
Am I just looking at the minors? No, Ben Heller. Okay, Ben Heller's number 2. All right, here we go.
I have a real stat that I want to bring up.
These are real stats. It's just
no, okay, but I have
poor usage.
I have a league-wide stat that I'd like to bring up. The league leaders right now in expected ERA.
I should have realized after like 6 or 7.
I think I should have realized. Not even listening to you talking. I was like, damn, their pitching coach.
Guess what?
He knows what's up. And then I was like,
all Astros.
Okay, hold on, because
that's like a biff job by
the
me.
Rays should be on this list.
That's rough.
Oh, brother.
Okay.
But,
well,
okay, expected ERA.
Yeah, okay. Expected ERA. Go ahead.
Joe Ryan leads in expected ERA with a 2.44. Second is Zach Eflin with a 2.9. And then third is Zach Wheeler with a 3.18. And then there are a bunch of guys in that, like, all in those increments. But Joe Ryan is ahead of like 3 through 7 on that list by 0.7. an expected ERA.
That's insane.
So whatever he's doing, man,
Zero.
he's going full breakout this year.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I respect it whenever you shut down the Boston
Christ.
Red Sox.
Gotta love that. Huge fan of that.
You got anything else for this week in baseball?
You want to hear more about the Houston Astros pitching staff Sierra numbers?
Not really.
No.
I think we've covered that base.
I can't believe it was just the Astros.
That's absurd, man. We have to leave it in at this point. It's so
Oh dear God! I promise I'm a smart human. I do my best sometimes, and it's just not enough. I do what I can.
Shit happens, man. It's okay.
It's fine. I should have realized sooner. It's like 6 or 7 guys. Man,
Oh,
you know,
man.
ooh, nice play. This is this is why we teach critical thinking in schools, because someone who maybe didn't pay attention in school as much, or maybe someone who paid attention more, I should say, would have realized like this data seems skewed. Like that's how you read a data set.
Oh,
Anyway.
man. Did you see any movies this week?
No, I did not. I was busy. Oh, I went to the Land of the Moose.
Oh, the Land of the Moose.
Yes, with our great our brothers to the north.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was,
That's
it's
North
A.
Dakota.
A
Yeah.
is their thing. We went to a beautiful little town called Niagara on the lake right next to Niagara Falls. I have some family up near Buffalo, so I went to go visit them in the U.S., in New York. And then we just borrowed the car, went over the border, hung out at this nice little town. We went biking around this wine region that's there, like right on the other side of Niagara Falls. It was
That's
like a
very
beautiful day.
Italian.
It was, dude, it was amazing.
Very Sicilian.
Like
Not
it
that
was.
I've ever been to Sicily.
It's,
But that's
it's
my
probably
idea
something you
of
would
Sicily
do
is
in
like
Sicily.
biking around a
Dude,
wine garden.
everything there is just vineyards, just like grapevines as far as the eye can see. It was amazing. Loved it. And then you just walk in and they're just like, you do wine tastings. It was great. Highly recommend. So my girlfriend and I got to do that. Bryce, the listeners have met her. So we had a very nice weekend up in the Land of the Moose.
Dude, I need to spend more time in peaceful settings.
Dude, it was awesome. Oh my God, it was so quiet. The air was crisp.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
It's just so nice.
Instead, I watched Extraction 2 on Netflix.
Did you actually?
Dude, it's honestly...
I'm sure it rips. Don't get me wrong.
Here's
But that
the
is
thing.
the opposite of peaceful.
I know. I really liked the first one because it was like all I had going for me during the pandemic
Sure.
was to get to watch that. Like,
Dude,
that
it
was the only
sounds like
new
something
thing
that would. It
was
sounds like an
happening.
Always Sunny movie. Like we're going to see Extraction 2.
Yeah, it's like it's so frustrating because like the action in that movie
God.
and the stunt coordination is so cool, and it's
Sure.
like they have this one shot which is definitely not one shot, but it's made to look like one that goes for like 15 minutes through like 4 or 5 different just absurd
His
set
name is
pieces.
Tyler Rake.
Yeah, it's sick, right? Like I can't,
Dude.
I gotta give.
It's an 80s action movie.
I know. Like here's the thing, and it's just frustrating because the script is such a like meathead nonsense where
Sure.
he's like he's an Afghanistan war veteran and
Yeah.
like his son died of cancer and so his wife like divorced him and then like there's like this whole arc where they have to come like back together.
Okay, I'm watching
And
the
he's,
trailer
like-
right now. The action that they're showing off,
It's
looks
incredible.
sick.
It's
It actually
amazing.
really
That's the
does.
reason. That's the only reason I watched the movie. And
Oh my God.
it's like it's a great time whenever that's happening. There are like 2 or 3 different long action sequences where I'm just like, holy shit! But
Oh, dude,
the script sucks so much. And then when you go to look who wrote the script, look who it is. You don't know this yet.
Oh, it's the Russos. Oh my God,
They're everywhere.
they're everywhere.
Tyler Rake is like the only cool thing that they've created in
Yeah,
a decade
my
since
God.
the Community episodes they
Jesus
directed.
Christ. Wait, what was what's that the Bong Joon-ho movie with the train?
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer. The action reminds me a little bit of Snowpiercer just from the trailer that I'm seeing.
Yeah, because there is like a train sequence.
Yeah.
where he like
Yeah.
goes into different cars and
just,
pulls out
like,
like a bigger gun every time.
Using a train, like, because the
I think it's
space
like a
on a train
turret
is
at some
perfect.
point.
Like, because it's narrow, it's cramped, it's hectic. So that's like
It
that's
is
a
a
really
good
cool
set,
set piece. But that movie's great. Oh my God, we should do a Bong Joon-ho double feature episode where we talk
Should we?
about Parasite and Snowpiercer.
Oh, maybe before his movie comes out with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Next year.
God, I love Robert Pattinson.
You a big
That's an
Art Pats
aside.
guy.
I just him and everything is great.
Dude, right as Extraction 2
Good
ended,
Batman.
Netflix told me that I was no longer part of my household.
Dude, I can't watch Netflix anymore.
I got kicked off
straight
Netflix.
up can't.
No, me neither.
It's
I
ridiculous.
got kicked off. So
speaking of rich people ruining fun things,
Extraction 2 is the last movie I will ever watch on Netflix. And
what
honestly,
a way to go out. Yeah.
I don't really care. I could have just watched it on my plug website anyway.
Yeah, I know.
So
that's a thing.
I don't care about Netflix. They don't.
No, same.
They don't provide any service.
I'm
All
going to
they do
lobby
is
my parents to cancel the
siphon
subscription.
cinema from the theaters.
Terrible.
Fuck that. I'm not giving them my money.
No.
I also saw Asteroid City, the new Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
And
Tell me
it's
thoughts.
getting great reviews, and I wasn't super sold on it, honestly. It felt very mechanical to me. Wes Anderson's movies are always very mechanized and stylish, and
Yeah, of course.
Heavily
stylized.
You know what you get when you're going into a Wes Anderson movie. And I've seen some people say that he's becoming a victim of his own style or something. And I think that that's a little bit ridiculous. But this one to me kind of felt like going through the motions a little bit. This is a movie where he has control of just the entire set, because it is such a condensed set, and it's a town with a population of exactly 87 people. Wes Anderson is essentially playing God, I feel in this new movie, and so much of it just feels like the characters just weren't super memorable to me this time, especially after Wes Anderson's last movie before this one, The French Dispatch, which I felt was one of my favorites. Some of the black and white references to scenes that hadn't happened yet, or scenes that are referenced as being cut, I thought were a nice touch. It's very formally inventive, quote unquote,
sure,
or whatever. And it is it's cool. I don't mean to say quote unquote to shit on it or whatever, but that's clearly that's so much of the appeal behind the movie, that there were definitely times when I feel the movie itself got sort of lost in what it's supposed to be, and what you think it's supposed to be as a Wes Anderson movie. And
right.
So much of it is I don't know, people talk so much about the deadpan, emotionless characters, and I think that a lot of the appeal of his movies is in those moments where the emotion breaks through, and you're able to, and that it just in context it hits so much harder. The one that I think people most commonly reference is the "I've had a rough year, Dad" line in Royal Tenenbaums. And I didn't feel like there was anything like that in this movie. Not that I'm just looking for the same algorithmic formula, but also Wes Anderson kind of structures the audience's mind to expect that from him.
Sure.
So I feel like it's a difficult line to toe between I want to have an open mind with this director's work for new things that he's trying to do, and also clearly he's created a bubble that he seems to want to stay in, and especially wanted to stay in for this one. This is, like I said, the most intimate and condensed Wes Anderson movie, and honestly I kind of walked out feeling pretty empty.
His style is so pervasive and well known that I'm familiar with what he kind of does, even with that being the case. And I don't know, I'm excited to see this movie. I want to go at some point, and just I feel like it's with the amount of things that are out that are not made to be artful. I mean, this is something.
Yeah, certainly go see it. It's gotten much better reviews than you just heard from me. I mean, I'm certainly in the minority on this one, but
right.
I wasn't super impressed. I think that just about wraps up the episode.
I think so.
Yeah.
What else? Is there anything that we could touch on?
I got everything.
Think so. Aaron Judge, come back soon, please.
Please. Oh, man. Yeah, that's been it for this week of the Mudville podcast. Thank you for listening. If you haven't already, give us a nice rating and a nice review. We'd really appreciate it. We got to the point where Spotify is displaying our number of ratings, so that's nice.
That also, we are now both on Blue Sky.
Yeah, we got Brody on Blue Sky.
I'm a blue guy now.
Yeah, he's a blue guy.
Gonna start skeeting.
Oh man,
that's a thing. That's what they're calling him now.
Yeah, no, I'm well aware. He got at Brody S is his
Yes.
username. So we're now Nolan
Brody
R
something,
and Brody
Brody
S respectively, which feels kind of like a bit,
It works though.
but I like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
It feels like we're doing kind of like a
also,
performance.
I fixed my my header
I
fully.
like it.
Just says,
Very
"Give me
nice.
money, please."
So
which
yeah,
is my whole thing.
Follow us on there. Follow us on Twitter if you haven't gotten your invite yet. We are at Mudville Pod. But that'll do it. I've been Nolan Rabine.
I've been Brody Staub.
Hasta luego.
We will see you guys next week.